it's Dale here. I'm just going to show you something that I came across one of my little pillows. I've made lots of these in the past, so I thought I'd pull this one out and have a look at it. It's just on, I've used, ordinary black felt, not Kernan, not anything like that. And you can see the back was something that I was practicing some stitches on at the time, so waste not, want not. And on the top, I've used, first of all, I've done all these little edges. They're buttonhole stitches. So if you've got a piece of felt, a flat felt as such, you can stitch up, your buttonholes, and then they make really nice little edges on things if you haven't tried that before. Haven't done this for a while, so it just came back to me. I thought, well, this is a good idea for an edge. And then for the body part, I've used, fusible webbing, which is the sticky back, the sticky fusible webbing. It's called Glycofix in Australia, but it's Bondaweb and other things. And it's got sticky on one side, and that's the side I've painted them, so you can see lots of paint here. And I would traditionally use a paint like Dynaflow, which is runny, and that's what people used to suggest, a runny paint. But then I've used a Lumiere, something like Lumiere, possibly this one, and you can see the heavier colours, the pinks and things are much heavier, and it sits on the surface. These ones here have just been painted with Dynaflow splashed on, so when it's hard to get off. So when you paint it, set it aside, you can see how all the paint runs, and it's really really intriguing and interesting. And I've used mostly red, perhaps with a bit of yellow in it here and there. And then when I want it, I just peel it off. She says as though it will peel off easily. There we go. And just take a little bit here because I'll probably use this again later. And so this, say, is the piece that I've peeled off. I've got my surface, and I would apply it, put it on there, and put Glad Bake over it, of course, because the sticky will stick to your iron, and you won't thank me if you do that. And then bond it to the surface. And it'll hold its own. And you can see on top of that, I've done lots of stitching just to create a bit of an image. And I've also a bit of interest in it goes different ways. So I've used sort of offcuts here, if I remember, and lots of different stitch, and put good. It's pretty well all right now, but I guess if I ironed it, it would lift up some of that glue. Would probably still be in action, and this is quite a few years ago. So that was my background, which is a good, very interesting painted fusible web. Is really good for backgrounds and for playing around with things. And then on the top, I've done a little netting stitch. So here's some netting. This is cheap netting that you can buy, tutu netting. And then I have just hooped it up. Obviously, it's not strong enough on its own to hoop. And I've stitched a pattern on it, little circles, and just some heavier chain stitch around there, and beaded it. And then when you cut it out, you've got a nice little shape. So it's a very easy way to make a 3D thing. And netting's really, this is a heavier netting, and this one here is a finer netting, but it doesn't matter. It's whatever I have managed to find at Spotlight at some stage. And I could now turn this into a little tutu for Emmy. And then as well as that, for the netting is fabulous to stitch on, because this is netting as well, and I've just stitched lots and lots of circles to make the bottom of this little bag. And the little bag has got, it's two-sided, so it's got buttons in between and stitch in the shape, so it makes a really good little bag. It's lost its handle, but great little thing for kids, or for something when you want to put like treats in for Christmas or something like that, because you can make a smaller one and make it in an envelope shape, just wherever your imagination takes you, really. And round the outside on the netting again, I have stitched little circles to keep it going. And all I've done then is simply joined the whole lot round here like so, and cut it out. And there's your little bag, or whatever it is that you want to make. So, I hope that's given you a little idea. Just back to the Glycofix again. If things like putting foil on the top of it while it's sort of sticky, and you can add that, and it gives lots of great background things as well. And this, I think this is another one here. Now this one's been around for a long time. It's on silk. Isn't it fabulous for a background, what you could do with it? So there you go. I hope that's a few ideas for you, and we'll see you again another time. Bye.